We are fixing the BMW E36's largest problem. This car has been plagued with this issue for over 5 years. If you own one of these cars for long enough, you are bound to encounter this issue. And this will become the defining moment as to whether your E36 ownership wings fly, or it is sayonara to E36 ownership for you. If you've been a long-term viewer of the channel, you already know what this video is about. That would be the glove box. The glove box on the BMW E36 chassis is a known pain and failure point. Documentation going all the way back to even before these cars were 10 years old, because that's how terrible they are. When I bought Sparky, our high mileage hero here, 6 years ago, the glove box was in beautiful condition. That's actually a lie, but you know what, it was actually pretty alright. I then did a cabin air filter, and after that, it pretty much immediately fell apart. Now you might be asking yourself, hey Sonny, the all-knowing E36 expert, why do the glove boxes break on these cars? Which I would say, thank you. I am the all-knowing E36 expert, obviously. I'm so glad you asked. I have a theory, and it all goes way back to the 20th century. See, back in the late 80s and into the 90s, there was a big push in European car manufacturers to make cars more eco-friendly, better for the environment, which really meant making them biodegradable when the cars ceased to exist. And there was another big revelation in the automotive industry that came out around this time, and that was the discovery of plastic, like it was a new element. Automotive manufacturers just discovered plastic, and they decided that they were going to use it in everything. And because it was a new element, so to speak, that they had just discovered, let's just say the quality of the plastic was less than stellar. Combination of using plastic everywhere and it being chintzy, crappy plastic, basically everything fell apart. And really that's the summation of all of the issues that the E36 has, other than rust. It's plastic. They used it in everything, and everything they used it in broke. BMW would probably say that it lasted the warranty period and the expected life of whatever the part was, and their engineers decided was the life cycle for it. And when your glove box broke 9 years down the line, they'd tell you to, how would you put it, go f yourself and buy a new one. There are a plethora of issues that an E36 glove box can have. Anything ranging from sagging, to the door delaminating, to the door randomly falling open over bumps, which fortunately this one doesn't suffer from, to the glove box being unable to be closed, to the glove box getting stuck closed, to the lock failing, to the button falling out, which was a new one for me when it happened on this car. The list of glove box issues goes on, and depending on what the issue is with your glove box, there's a different fix. There's also a lot of different ways you can fix the glove box, some ranging from free to some being as expensive as reconstructing an entire new glove box for the low price of $1,000. It might not actually be that much money, I don't know, but the door that goes on here alone I think was like $600-ish last time I checked, so it's not really cost effective. Fixing it is definitely the preferred option. Now I did buy a new part for this, which we're going to talk about. Let's go ahead and pull the glove box out of Sparky and then fix it and replace our cabin air filter, which I haven't replaced in 6 years. Yeah, because I replaced it when I bought this car because of how hard it was and annoying. I didn't want to do it again, but it's time.
Yes, that's the good stuffs. Yes, that's the good stuffs.
We got our glove box out of the car and we have it in pieces now. So we're going to address each issue one by one to fix this once and for all. The first issue, the most obvious issue, is this door, which is delaminated from the upper piece here. This issue started years ago. The problem and why this, I'll call it delaminates, is because of this adhesive here, which slowly over time just kind of lifts. And if you don't catch it fast enough, then, well, your door just comes right off. We're gonna use this 3M epoxy, which I'll link in the description down below, to adhere this back to here to make our two pieces one again. Unfortunately, because I left it broken for so many years, there is a bit of a crease down at the edge. Sparky here is almost 30 years old. The car is imperfect, and that's okay. Oh, look at how easily this just comes right up. No wonder it delaminates. Alright, we're switching to a little bit of vlog style here. We got all of our adhesive off of the glove box door on both sides. I'm actually very happy with how this turned out. We're able to save most of the foam. So what we're gonna do now is take our 3M epoxy and we're gonna lay it thick on the door and use a bunch of these clamps to get this door to stick to here. So I wound up in a bit of a predicament here. Because the door to the glove box was so warped, I had to use my arm to get this to sit flush at the bottom. Unfortunately, now my right arm is the clamp for the bottom, so I'm not really sure what I'm gonna do at this point. And while I'm sitting here waiting for this to cure, this video is sponsored by Turner Motorsport and ECS Tuning. Turner Motorsport and ECS Tuning are your one-stop shop for all of your European car parts needs. They carry OEM, genuine, and aftermarket parts. With their lifetime replacement guarantee, you can be assured that what you're buying is of high quality. Click the link in the description down below to go check out Turner Motorsport ECS Tuning to support the vendors that support MTech. Now, let's find a solution for my current predicament. Now with that unfortunate detour out of the way, we're going to attack the cabin air filter, which may be my third least favorite part of this job. What we just did being my first, you'll learn about the second in a minute. I'm hoping this goes smoothly, and I'm also hoping that it's not super gross, but it's been 6 years. I'm not really confident that it's probably going to be totally disgusting. Oh, ah. Honestly, could be worse. Our new cabin air filter is one of these charcoal activated ones, which is supposed to eliminate outside odors. So I'm curious to see how this performs and if our air blows a little stronger, because that other one's been in there for over 50,000 miles now. New cabin air filter officially installed. I'm excited about that because this job sucks. And this whole thing has been something I've been dreading for a long time. So we are going to give the glove box overnight for it to cure. And then we're going to deal with putting this back together and the second least favorite part of this that I mentioned earlier. This is the finished product we have right here. There's a little bit of extra epoxy on the side, but you can see a couple of witness marks from the clamps. Overall though, I am actually very happy with this, and based on what I've seen, this should hold. That 3M 490 epoxy is designed specifically for environments that get warm and heat cycling and that kind of thing. So, okay. Now we have our handy dandy lid fixed, which brings us on to the next repair we're gonna do, which is a twofer, and that is to actually fix the sag. Now the sag really comes from this piece. So what the sag is it's separation from this panel and the top of the glove box. What happens over time is that gap gets larger and larger, and then you'll see the glove box start to droop down. It also gets amplified by this separating, because once this starts to separate, it pulls down more on the whole mechanism, and then the gaps gets bigger and bigger. So it becomes this cascading effect that causes the glove box to just get worse and worse. Now, you can drill holes into this panel to essentially get the glove box and that vent to, essentially be screwed in together. That fix works. However, we're gonna do this the proper way. And I say proper way The additional reason we're doing this is because my button is broken, and I didn't really feel like going through and messing with this whole mechanism to get it to work. So I took the liberty, through our friends at Turner, and ordered a brand new vent piece, which I gotta say is absolutely beautiful. Button works great. These work great. Like, even look at that. Oh, so satisfying. One additional thing that causes the sag is these clips right here are breaking. And when these clips break, down here and up there, it causes the gap to get larger. So on this, you can see one of these clips is broken. However, there's one issue with this, and I'm sure you can see it, and it comes in about the shape of a key-size hole. That is that we have to swap our lock cylinder from the old one to this one. Now, I've looked up some videos on YouTube. I've been dreading doing this. That's why I call it the second least favorite part of this job. The least favorite being that. Because there's a million little plastic pieces in the back of this that are just waiting to break. I'm not gonna lie, there aren't really any resources on the internet that kind of show how to do this. So we're trailblazing this a little bit. Oh, look at that. Wow. Holy smokes. No sag.
I never thought I'd see this day, guys. This man has owned this car for over 5 years now.
Six.
Over 6 years. And his glove box has sagged those entire 6 years. I've begged this man to fix it.
It's progressively gotten worse and worse, and now it's like really fixed. I will say this striker here is worn out, so I probably need to replace this too. After 6 years, we have finally fixed the biggest problem with the BMW E36 chassis. The glove box is now fixed. I put fixed in air quotes because really the fix for this is to assemble a new glove box, buying each part individually from BMW for the small price of about $1 billion. Since we didn't want to spend $1 billion, we did it the way that we did it. I think we came to a happy outcome. Looking at the old clips on the old vent piece, it was definitely broken, so buying a new top vent was definitely the right move. I highly recommend when you pull the glove box out, leave those two pieces together. That way you minimize the risk that you'll break it. The fit and finish is not perfect. Our door was warped because it was broken for so many years, but given how it was before, I'm actually extremely happy with how this turned out. We did decide to skip the lock cylinder step. It's still installed in the old piece. I learned that if I get it removed from the old vent piece, I can just click it into this one without having to remove it. So that's gonna be the option that I go for. I spent about a few hours scouring the internet trying to find answers, and I even asked the Facebook group, and I got a bunch of comments of people saying following and nobody providing an answer. So I know I'm not the only person that's struggling with this issue. But that's it. Glove box officially fixed. If you enjoyed the video, like it. Let me know you want to see more E36 content. We have more down the pipeline. Subscribe if you're new to the channel. Hopefully this process goes smoothly on your E36s. This doesn't become the thing that ends ownership for you. And comment down below. Let me know how this went for you, if you've done it yet. Or if you haven't in the pipeline. I waited 6 years to do it. I have no room to speak. So take care. We'll see you in the next one.
Feels like I've been doing